各位观众晚上好，我们今天要玩轩辕剑三云和山的彼端，彼端，sorry, or as we know it in English, 轩辕Sword 3 Miss Beyond the Mountains, or officially, they don't actually put the number there, but actually the number is in the Chinese character, which is the word for three. San is the fancy way to put it. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our first playthrough of, well, not first playthrough, yeah, first stream of this game. And welcome Illusion Queen. Thank you for stopping by. I would have started earlier, but it turns out I had to actually make the overlay for the stream. I didn't have time actually. I was actually away. My holiday was actually pretty full. Today was actually a holiday in the US and Canada as well, apparently. So, yeah, so this is our first time to premiere this game. I've been waiting to play this game for a very long time because, like, we are playing possibly what people consider, some of the fans consider the peak of the series. I know it's the third game, and there are actually like more than seven games in the main line, but this is considered the best one by some people. And like, based on what I have to say, that it's not technically a completely blind playthrough for me because I have already seen the story up to a certain point. But from what I saw, it's actually pretty crazy and really fun. So this one, this is a game that is in Chinese. So Xuan Yuan Sword, we've already played 3 games in the series for 1, 1.5, and 2. So those were a lot of fun, but they were definitely a product of their time. Very I'm not gonna do an in-depth review, but of course we are allowed to spoil things that happened from those games, because that is the series. I mean, the series doesn't absolutely require you to know what happened in the past, but it's probably better that you do. So you don't have to have played the past games, but we'll definitely talk about it if it becomes relevant during these games, especially since these games are kind of tied to actual history. So they're things that happen, things that happen in history are kind of important, and you'll see just why that is, especially for this game, because this game is actually, the setting goes all the way from Europe. Like, we'll go around the old world for a while. Let's just say that. I'm not gonna say in detail where exactly we're going, but anyway, this game was released in 1999, so it's the last Xuan Yuan Sword game for the 20th century, and then all the other games came out at like 2000 and beyond, all the way to the present time. So this game is made by the Domo Group. That's their Xuan Yuan Swords development group. It's under Soft Star, so we've actually played Sword and Fairy and Xuan Yuan Sword are from the same company. They're not the same development team, but that's why they're called the Shuangjian series, or they are called the Dual Swords. So I feel like it was about time we've played a Chinese game. It's been a very long time. Now you might notice that this is on a Switch, so as you correctly surmise, this is I don't need to. Yeah, I was gonna say, before we continue, the Domo Group's done doing Xuan Sword for a long time. I think they're still around. I mean, of course, the members have changed. I don't think the creative team is exactly the same. Unlike Sword and Fairy, which has one of its creators from the very, very beginning. It is not the case for Xuan Yuan Sword, but as far as I know, I might be wrong, though. I have to look at the team composition, but as far as I know, it's not the same. But yeah, Soft Star is also from Soft Star, and I keep forgetting to mention that. So, but there is one very special thing about this game in particular. It's been, as you see, we are on the Switch and not on its original release, which was on the Windows PC. I contemplated playing the PC release, but frankly, there's a lot of nice features that the modern version of the game compatibility would have been a big issue. So for a PC, because you'd have to find an old enough we have to make sure we have an old enough PC to run it, and just didn't want to do like it just made more sense to play it on like a modern console port, and like you're not really losing out anyway because like the game still looks nice. But there is one I also mulled about it, because actually you could play this game in English. Now that is one interesting thing. This is the only one of the classic, as of this this stream, of course. I hope someday that they'll translate the other ones that are not already in English. Of the Xuan Yuan Sword games, this is the only other one in English other than 7. 7 is in English as far, and I don't think any other of them are in English except for this one, Xuan Yuan Sword 3. They chose this one to translate because this is considered the best game in the series. I mean, this is, if you had to start a classic war, probably this would make the most sense and has the most appeal for the Western audiences, and you'll see why based on the setting. So you could actually play this in English, but after some like thinking, I decided that we were going to play this in Chinese. I know you're like, why would you do that? Like, why wouldn't you want to show the experience of playing it in English? I mean, I guess like one, it's more like if you want, there are other YouTubers that have done this game in English, and two, like I just like, unlike I know I played like a game like Sword and Fairy 7 was played with English text. Sword and Fairy 6 and 7, I guess, were both played with English text, but those had Chinese voices, so you could actually hear the Chinese script alongside the English text, so you could make a comparison for yourself. This game, being from before the turn of the century, does not have voice acting at all, and it is pretty classic. So I decided that I didn't really want to miss out on the original Chinese text, and so that's why we're playing it in Chinese, because that's just the simple answer. There's no voices to hear, so you cannot tell what if you didn't have the original script, you'll have to deal with the English translation, and that one is really, it's serviceable, I guess. Is from the review that some people think it's bad, and other people say it's serviceable, it's fine for what it is. Like, it's not the best of translation ever in terms of editing, but they say it's good enough. So I mean, your mileage may vary, so, but we don't want, since I didn't want to deal with any of that, I can read the game in its original language and translate it for you, just like the old days with the other games that we've done in both Sword and Fairy and Xuan Yuan Sword. So buckle up, it's going to be an interesting ride, and I'll try my best to do a good job, but if I make mistakes, like, you'll know why. At least you'll have the English playthrough this time to reference if something is not clear. Alright, well, this is going to be an interesting experience. It's finally time to play the original, the game with Septem. I've mentioned this game a few times, so let's begin. And I know it is a little surreal to see this on a Nintendo console of all things, but hey, if you had to port one of the classic games, might as well be one. And if you've noticed, my Switch is now in simplified Chinese, and that is the only way to get this game in simplified Chinese that I can read the best. East Asia Soft is the one who distributes the game. Domo, of course, and that's the Soft Star logo. I don't know why they didn't put Soft Star down there, but yes. So this release came out in 2022. It took that long, 22 years to wait for an English version of this game. Western games, most Western gamers just didn't know about that this series existed, whereas we superior Chinese gamers, I'm just joking, but whereas gamers from the Chinese speaking spheres were well aware of this game by that point. And I myself was not really very familiar with, I was much more familiar with Sword and Fairy, and like I had played, so like it took me a while before I actually played a Sword and Fairy game, which I do feel is quite a shame, because I actually probably could have played it. I did have a version that ran, but I could have played it earlier, but like my Chinese was just too awful to do it. I know there was a time where I couldn't, my Chinese was even more awful than it was, but to be fair, it was like, Nick Mastina, I slept a lot today. I think so I can stay awake for this stream. Ah, thank you. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I see why you... Yeah, thank you for trying to stay awake. There's a lot of text to go through early on. And yes, so this is it says 轩辕剑山云和山的彼端. So that is the original language. So it's sort of like something like it's like the extremity of between the clouds and the mountains. So honestly, Mist Beyond the Mountains is probably the best translation you could probably get. And the reason why that character is used for 3, yeah, like it's the other side, right? Bidon. Yeah, the extreme. Yeah, so music might be a bit loud. Okay, we will fix that very soon. So hopefully we'll get the option to. If it's not an option, I will just change it on my stream side. Alright, so there's 2 options here. You can continue a previous yes, like you can continue a different save, or you could start a new story. We'll do this one. 新开序章. Okay, I have a feeling I'm gonna have to lower the volume because there's no option here. Soft Start presents. I know, in English? What? Why? Is it in... Well, let's just say, you know what, I will say, and that's Domo. They specifically use Western text. And yeah, it looks pixelated because it's from the turn of the century. They're using their English names, like the staff. You're wondering why in the world would they do this, though? I know his name's Abalone in English. Seamanster Claw. You gotta love these. The naming sensibility for Chinese speakers is just really funny sometimes. Okay, I'm not gonna talk too much. Let's see what this character is doing. Yeah. You see the Chinglish a little bit. It's not English, that's more for Japanese anyway. Chinese people can say L's and R's perfectly fine. We actually can distinguish between those two. What is this man doing? This character we've been following. And this is the first game on the series with FMVs. Or no, actually it's not. Never mind. Actually, I'm mistaken. The production quality of the FMVs is definitely higher in this one. So yes, even in the actual game, original game, it is the credits are written in with the Romanized names. So in case you're wondering, this is not addition from the localization. Oh, there's the familiar sword, the Xuan Yuan sword series. Think for future games we'll have to do the Steam releases, because they're just easier to run. Yeah, the thing. You remember these from other Xuan Yuan sword games, and that says Xuan Yuan Jian or Xuan Yuan Sword 3, and that's the pretty 3, the one that you use to make it clear you are writing the word 3, and so no one can add a line to make it one or two or hide it, erase it easily. I wonder who this character might be. To be honest, I don't know if the upscaling is all that great. It looks a little bit weird, but that's fine. Around 749 AD in Europe. So yes, this game, Venice, or Venice. So yes, this game does not take place in China. So inside that says a bar in Venice. So yes, guys, you might be wondering, we're playing a Chinese game, all right, but our text, our setting is not actually in China. Isn't that interesting? When I first watched the playthrough of this game, I was just like, wait, this isn't in China, is it? And so I found that game part fascinating. So don't worry, we're gonna be visiting lots of interesting places that aren't in China either. Sorry, my Switch decided. So this patron Alan says, Alan says chaos. It's truly chaos. Right. We of Venice have always been independently governed. Why has the Pope sought out those Franks and let's see, hold on, those Hujiao, was more what is it normally called in English? They're called not the Imperial Knights, they're the Sacred Knights, maybe I should say Sacred Knights for now, called the Sacred Knights of the Franks, Franks to meddle in our business. And this is Roy, and it says, let's see, yes, indeed, they're saying something about about ridding the world of the heretics in the name of God. Let's see. They're all a bunch of liars. On the other side of the great ocean, aren't they? Oh, let's see. In the lands on the other side of the great ocean, aren't they all full of heretics? Alan says. Let's see. That's right. So they think that after they've killed everyone on this side, they'll be able to they'll be able to kill everyone on the other side too? Let's see. The localization of the Knights Templar. Don't know if that's accurate or not. Actually, it might be. That's a good question. Thank you for checking it in. Because Sacred Knights is but literally it means the protectors of the church. So in case you're wondering, so actually that's a good question. Is Knights Templar, is that the official name in Chinese? I mean, you might be right. Thank you for looking up the localization too. We're gonna need it for some character names as well pretty soon. And let's take a look. Anyway, so there's a lot of yeah, I guess technically it's not the original, yeah, it's not quite the exact accurate. It's because the Knights Templar they're called the 圣殿骑士. Qi Shi Tuan. So it's not the exact, because, and this is the name of these knights are called the Hu Jiao Qi Shi Tuan. So it's like they're not exactly the officially what Chinese historians call the Knights Templar. So I guess you could call them but I guess they're kind of serving the same purpose. Anyway, we will continue. Only though, only those. Let's see. How do I think? Only those crazy fools in the church would believe those kinds of absurd lies. And then the barkeep here says like, "Oh, speak softly, my dear guests. The power of the church now is the church wields great power now. Let's see. No one can afford to incur their wrath. Let's see. Like, beware that you aren't captured and burned alive. Please have patience." Alan here is like, huh? Burned alive. Before I get the chance to be burned alive, I died of starvation first. Oof. Yeah, they're pretty. Alan is pretty irate upset at the church. And yes, it is the burning at the stake that you're thinking of. Let's see. Our Venice is a trading port. If we capture all of the foreigners, what how will we make our living? Who is this character? And yes, our first introduction. This is Septem, his official name. In Japanese, excuse me. In Chinese, it's Saite, but in English, we call him. He's officially Septem. For a long time, he's the only one with an official English name. But since the English localization, we now have official English names or I guess Romanized names for everyone else too, and that will be important once we start introducing new characters. Anyway, this is Septem, and he says, "Barkeep, may I trouble you for a glass of wine?" For a cup of wine, maybe, because glass. The barkeep here says like, "Hmm?" "Sir, you don't seem familiar. Could you have? Are you new, have you come here from from a foreign land?" The barkeep continues. Like, in recent times, Venice has been in great chaos. No matter what. No matter what your beliefs are, now that you are here, it'd be best for you to read a few verses of the Holy Bible. Yes, he's talking about, yes, and like Shengjing is the word for Bible. I know this because I can read the book. I have read the Bible in Chinese. And let's see. Septem says, the Holy Bible. I have read that before. And then the barkeep says like, well, that's good then. Thank God, Amen. Do I really have to say what Amen stands for? It is like, of course, it's like how you end up like It's like it's like kind of like a may it be for Christian, for Judeo-Christianity. Like, so it's not just my own religion, it will also apply to Judaism as well. And that's where we got it from, because Christianity is a spawned off of Judaism. Because of anyway, I'm not going to go into do that. I'll bring up more church history if it's relevant. Oh, Septem says like, but I do not believe in God. The word he uses, 上帝, and that's the word for God in Chinese, or like the old way of. Most of the time, modern Christians usually use 神, but which is like the generic word for God. It's just kind of interesting. I also wonder how we don't get confused when we're talking about like Chinese deities versus like the Christian God or Yahweh. But I always wondered how we get this straight, but I guess somehow we're able to do so. I'm saying from experience because I speak to a lot of people, Christians who are Chinese speakers themselves. So I guess generally we don't really like our topics are pretty different. So I guess it works out. So yes, just letting you know that that's kind of an old word, in case you're keeping notes. I know. Sorry, I have a lot to say. Oh, and by the way, saying that at this point in time, the 700s, you'd be asking to be killed, most likely, especially with the power of the Roman Catholic Church at this time. Yeah, and here's the barkeep is here. The barkeep's like, young man, you could say that those kind of things here, but you mustn't speak such in the speak such out in the streets. Let's see. Now, if they see someone such as you who has the let's see how do I say this in Chinese, in English. Let's see. Someone with the features of an Oriental man, at any point in time, they could capture you for heresy. Yeah, so at least we know from this is that Septem looks like someone who came from the Orient, or I'm using the old word for it. Of course, we know that means the East at this point in time. Septem says, you needn't worry about me. Right. Barkeep. Is there any ship from the port that can sail to Arabia? Yes, and that's where Alabo or Arabia. Thankfully they highlight the names in red. And then Alan here says like, don't, you gotta be joking. You have to be joking. Yes. Recently, those Frankish knights have been capturing all of the Arabs here. Who was it? Not a. Let's see. Now, there's no damn way you're going to be able to sail to Arabia. Septem says, killing heretics. The barkeep says, you're correct. I've heard that they plan to burn them at the stake in Venice Square. Septem says, that's like, oh, well, that's well, that's very awful. barkeep says like, let's see. I really don't understand why our protectors of the people are willing to help help those men cause a ruckus, says the barkeep. Uh-oh. Here is the captain of the night says like, hold on, just gonna look up something. But I think I know what this means, but I know, sorry. Oh, it's translated as Tribune. I think that might actually be right. I'm gonna double check. Yeah, thank you for looking that up too. It's actually kind of fascinating to see what they come up with for localization terms. I guess that's a disadvantage of me doing all this. If my own terms will be different from the major ones. Oh, that's right. No, they're right. Actually, that is tribunes. So that is what they're officially called, because they took that term from ancient Rome. So yeah, so like in ancient Rome, like tribunes were protectors of the people. So that is the official name. So we will be using that term. Yeah. So we're at the point in the game where the terms should probably follow better, more easily if you played it in English. Anyway, look nice together. So as I was saying, those girls from Venice have a certain fishy taste to them. They're just not like the girls from Francia. Hi, I'll roll on the roll from. We'll have to watch the start after the end. No problem. I call it Francia, or the Kingdom of the Franks is really the official name. Or our Frankish girls, maybe. Yeah. So, by the way, this is the Kingdom of the Franks isn't called France at this point. So that's why even in the text here, they don't use the word for France yet, because that is not a thing yet. It is too early for that. The soldier says like, and then the soldier is like, but Captain, the girls here take baths daily. They're not like they're not like us back home where we don't even have water to use. And it's like, barkeep, bring over 2 big cups of wine. Anyway, the captain of the night says like, wait, I've heard that there is some thing called tea that is sold here in Venice. I've never never drank anything like that. Or like, sorry, I have never had a taste of it before. And the soldier says like, barkeep, hurry! We want 2 great cups of tea. Chop chop. Maybe that's too modern, isn't it? Quickly. And of course, you're asking for tea in a bar, and the barkeep here says like, sorry, my apologies. We do not have tea. And you may be wondering why in the world they're making such a big deal about the tea. Well, at this point in time, importing goods from the Orient or Asia was very expensive. So at this point, like, tea is not a common thing in Europe at all. So I actually like that they kept this detail important. And so, like, most people in Europe have never, or in the Roman Empire, have never tasted or didn't even know a drink such as tea was existed, because tea was exclusive to East Asia. So you'd have to cross the entirety of Central Asia and through the Persian Empire just to get tea. So it is only for the rich and wealthy. And of course, Venice, being a trader with the Arab world, or at this point in time, would have access to it, but it would be reserved for very high class establishments. So a soldier demanding a tea from a bar a bar is kind of insane. The soldier here says, like, what? You have no tea? Aren't you? Isn't Venice a trading port? You have no tea. Who are you trying to fool? Huh. Barkeep, you dare look down on the likes on us of the Knights Templar. You know what you should know what happens next, says the captain. And then the barkeep says, but tea leaves are all sold by foreign merchants to us. They Alan says, like, Alan here says, like, it's because hold on, let me see. It's because you despicable knights captured them all away. That's why they don't have. There's no tea. So Alan says, and the soldier says, like, how dare you to say such things to the knights of God? Raise this bar. Oh boy, yep, they're saying, like, turn this place inside out. It's like, look, the captain of the night says, look, there's a patron there who isn't willing to run away. And then the soldier says, and by the way, the soldier's here. Hey, young man, what? Or not? Young man, why are you not go? How do I say this? Why are you not leaving? Hey, wait. Your features don't seem to be that of a common person's. Your features resemble those of the heretics. Turn your face toward me, hurry. This... Why does... I feel like I've seen your face before somewhere. Let me think. You are... Septim says, like, you recognize me? The soldier says, Yes, I remember now. That's right, it's you. You too are a member of the Knights of the Kingdom of the Franks. Aren't you that? Septim says like, my apologies. You really shouldn't have recognized me. And then the captain says like, bar fight, yeah. Anyway, like kind of 岂有此理, this is always one of my the most interesting ones to translate. This is like you'll hear that often in other Chinese like dramas as well. 岂有此理, like what kind of, I know it's like it's like what kind of like I like how it literally means like what kind of principles are like what kind of principles are that, but of course that's the literal translation. Like anyway, the captain is just saying, outrageous to think you were in line with those heretics too. All right, it's time for our first battle. So this is a turn-based system. We have Septim on the bottom. He has 40 HP and other things I don't know yet. But I believe that, I guess like one's guard power. Anyway, we're gonna just keep it simple. We can use attack here. We have techniques, items. We have ultimate techniques down here, and defend if you need it. You can press L to do auto battle. I don't believe that was a feature in the original games. That's nice if you want to speed up battles for grinding purposes. But we're just going to do attack first. Select your target, and of course we're going to feed. Anyway, this is a 梅罗文加 like what is that in English? Oh well, I'll figure that out later. Let's go attack him though. Defeat it. Oh yeah, 10 EXP, 10 silver, and of course we have earned treasure EXP 3. And Septim has gone to level 3. I love how they're so enthusiastic. So yes, this is the only voice acting you're hearing, the grunts. But you're not going to hear like dialogue, unfortunately. Wow, he grew to level 4 off of that fight. I could read this actually. I forgot to read it for you guys. His HP is 55. His magic power is 15. His physical power 20. 13 strength. 10. Oh. The barkeep said, sir, you killed them. Septim said, like, no need to worry. I've simply knocked them out cold. I think I might have overdone it. I'm afraid they won't be able to. They won't wake up until the next day. Well, as long as they don't get in my way today, that's all. That's all. Or like, let's see. Well, as long as they don't get in my way today. Sir, do you know who they are? You've created a. You've gotten yourself in a great deal of trouble. You best leave the city. I'm going to drink water. Septim says, like, sorry, barkeep. I might have to ask you to to keep this a secret, here's some money for the wine, and a bit of extra money for you. No, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare dare reveal. Let's see. How do I say this? Let's see. I wouldn't dare leak this out. You didn't pay me for the wine. Oh, that's right, barkeep. Do you have any other questions? I have one more thing that I wish to ask you. Do you know where those Arabs are being held? I've heard that they are being held inside the cathedral, inside the city, within the city. But I'm not very certain. It's best if you ask others. Something said, "My thanks." Well then, may I trouble you to go ahead and take care of these two. The barkeep said, "Oh my lord, oh lord, now the world has the world is truly engulfed in chaos. What to do?" So Merovingian, thank you. I was wondering, like, what is this kingdom? So yeah, they're Merovingians. Thank you for looking that up. Alright, we're in the square of Venice. Those Franks. It looks like they're scared the people here to death. It looks like they're scared the people here to death. But what's even more difficult, what will be even more troublesome, it looks like these fanatics of the or it looks like these religious fanatics aren't just going to, or let's see, it looks like there's not a high possibility that these religious fanatics are going to release the Arabs. Let's see. Very well. Looks like I'll have to first find a way, or let's see, I have to first make a plan on how to find those Arabs. Or let's see. Oh yeah, we Franks. Sorry, I said it too quickly. You're right. Okay, so I can walk with the D-pad. And of course, if you hit the button, you can dash. With the D-pad, you're always dashing. If you use the control stick, you can, or the analog stick, you'll run if you hold in a direction for a while. It's kind of an interesting, but I'm going to use the D-pad, so whatever. Rebecca here says, like, oh, what to do? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I see. Oh, what to do? The church has locked up the ivory merchant that did business with, that came to Venice to do business with my husband. My husband grew, became very angry, and when he decided to protest against his church, he was he was proclaimed a heretic and then locked away. What should I do? Let's see. Just what should I do? Let's see. Hold on. Let me see. Like, now I'm extremely worried. Who should I go seek to save my husband? Ivory. Oh yeah, well, as you guys know, elephants are not native to Europe, so if it's an ivory merchant, then an ivory merchant would come from the continent of Africa. So, likely one of the African merchants were captured. Yeah, it's at this point in time, people were very. Oh yeah, and you can save any time, which is super useful. See, super fast too. And of course, you can load here. There is an auto save feature, and yeah, a nice thing is that it will tell you what you're supposed to be doing. You need to go to save the Arabs in the cathedral. This is the record of all the bestiary. It literally means... Oh, hold on, please. And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the Heavenly Scroll, by the way. And this is the record of gods and demons in Chinese. These are special techniques you have. I have the equips as well. I will describe them when they become relevant. We will be spending all our time translating interfaces if we don't do this. So, you can also find the translations if you play this game in English. So, I'm not going to spend too much time discussing things. Other than the fact that these are leather boots. This is a breastplate. And this is called the Kuojian is like... that's a good question. What do they translate this in English? I don't know. I guess it's like the broadsword. Yeah, broadsword. Because the word is... you think about it, that's the word for wide. Or broad. And that's why it's called a broadsword. Yes, this is an interesting name. Technique. It's called the Swift Eagle 7 Scar Sword. I don't know what they translated that in English, but I can't imagine it being very easy. This is called a Chinese vase. It's kind of curious that they use the word 中国, considering that the word China themselves didn't really consider them 中国. It would be called it would be called this. It would be like 中原, which is more likely what they would call themselves, or like the location. That would be the kingdom's name at this point. What was the king? Well, we'll find out which dynasty it is. I forget which dynasty it is at the 700s. Is it Tang Dynasty? I'm forgetting. It is definitely, if not Yuan Dynasty, that's in the 1200s. So my history is a little bit off, but anyway. Yeah, let's go see if there's anything interesting. Septem says. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Who is the highest ranked officer in Venice City? In the city of Venice? Says Septem. So this is just villager Peter or Peter. Let's see. Yeah, Tang Dynasty. Nice. I remember. You're asking the highest ranked official about the highest ranked official in Venice. Like, or let's see. Cheapens sound like. Let me think. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. Well, anyway, like, not traditionally. Let's see. Traditionally, we are. I guess maybe it's traditionally. Traditionally, we are considered the territory of the East Roman Empire. But in actuality, we we are under the. We are all under the rule of Sir, how do I know, like Sir Tribune, of the tribune of His Lordship, the Tribune of Venice. I'm just using that. But it's just that we still have to pay taxes, pay tribute to both the Emperor of the Byzantine both the Eastern Roman Emperor of Byzantium, as well as the Pope in the city of Rome. So yeah, to make things easy, like at this point, this is the 700s, so the Western Roman Empire has already fallen, but the Eastern Roman Empire still existed, and they were still quite powerful too. So Venice, as you know, is in Italy, so they, in order to keep their power and how they eventually became their own powerhouse, they had trade, and they also made sure to keep their partners happy, so to speak. So at this point, they were paying tribute to both Rome. Like at this point, it's just the Pope in Rome. Who was in control of it? I think the was it like, at this point, Italy as a concept doesn't exist either. But the Pope in Rome was still very, very powerful, even though, and like powerful enough that kings were paying attention to him. And the Pope could have had his own army. So yes, at one time the papal states had their own military that was powerful, and so they were vying for power too. So Venice, smartly, is trying to court both the Eastern and the Western Roman Empire, very important trading partners. So it would make sense. And this is Pear, and she says, "Did you know? Let's see. There's a cloth called silk that is sent over from the Far East by foreign merchants." And at this point, silk is a state secret of the Chinese kingdoms. So nobody knew how to make silk, and it wasn't until a very, very long time where finally someone leaked out the secret. And that's because the way it worked was that I think it was against a caliphate. So the caliphate actually sees both the people that make the silk and how they stored the silkworms, and that's how finally the secret of silk came to Europe through the Arabs, the caliphate, the Middle East. But that was a very long time, and this really was not a thing at this point. At this time, all of the Chinese kingdoms kept that, because that was their that was their most prized exports, and nobody in the Chinese governments would want them to know how to do that. And even now, who makes silk? It's mostly Chinese silk is still really valuable. It's not quite as expensive as it was back in this time, but you know. Let's see. I've heard that this this cloth is both It's both shiny and and light, and it has a Guang Yi is like one sec. Not highlights. What is it called? Yeah, sorry, one sec. I know I've been talking a lot. You can tell I love history. Yeah, there it's called like sheen. Yeah, sheen. Has a sheen that is like that is heavenly. Septim says, "Oh, is there really some kind of cloth like that?" And she continues. Pear says, "Yes, but I've heard that. I heard the price of that cloth is is extremely expensive, and so only the church or the nobles will be able to afford it. For us commoners, let's see, there is no way we could wear clothing made of silk." Yeah, but I really hope that one day I too will have the opportunity to wear clothing made of silk. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Chinese silk is actually pretty nice. Woof woof. Anyway, I get my headband. And that's just saying the square. So let me see if I can equip the headband. Here it is. Here's our headband. I know you take more damage from ice because of it, which is kind of odd. But I think it's a overall increase your defense by 1, so why not? Can you go in here? No, I can't go in the bar anymore. Yeah, just saying Venice. Oh, this is the Tribune's house. Ring the bell like 20 times. You serious? Oh, it's one of those side quests. We are on the belfry. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh. Wow. How would you know to get that? Anyway, this is the the despair cat sleeve dart, or like cat dart, I guess is the best way to put it. Not sure what you can do with them, but you don't use it there. No. Is it accessory? No, it is not an accessory. Is it a treasure? Oh, it's for a future character that uses darts. Okay. Ming Bai. Understood. Oh yeah, this is Peter. He just says, hold on. Just need to look up something real quick. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm talking. Now pirates are running wild, and the Byzantium over there has no way to deal with them. In the end, His lordship, the tribune, could only petition the Pope and ask Pope to bring over the king, to have the kingdom of the Franks send soldiers to deal with the pirates, or I see stabilize the pirates. No, it's like to quell the pirates. So that's why they came. The Frankish knights came over, and you're one of them. Yeah, so it's interesting that the whole location is one continuous screen. So this is the merchant Veda or Veda. I don't know. Like in normal times, Venice is our Venice is a trading port. Is a bustling trading port with many Arabic merchants and Persian merchants who do business with us. Recently, after all these so-called knights have arrived, they've made the entire city full of gloom and caused the people's hearts to be uneasy. I think that's what it means, right? Hold on, one sec. Now I'm starting to doubt myself here. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah, but I mean, like, because like the word is miasma, but I mean, like, I don't think that's what he's saying. I think he's just saying the whole city is gloomy. Okay. I really hope they'll hurry and leave. Yeah, of course, for the merchants, it sucks for their business that they're, catching all the people who would trade with them. And this is Chawana. I don't know how to... Or like girl Anna, sorry. I think. Hold on. Am I right? Yeah. Or I think... I don't know how to say... I don't know how they translated this. It's a name anyway, but anyway. I know, sorry. I actually realized that if we spend... I also know that... Sorry guys, I just realized that if we do too much NPC talking, we'll be here all day. So I'll try to not go a little too crazy. So don't worry. I'll try not to overdo it with NPCs. Otherwise, we'll be here all day and we'll never get any progress done. So, I think even if we did play in English, I probably would have the same policy where we can't overdo it with NPCs. Anyway, she's just saying, like, within Venice there are many winding... within Venice are many winding lanes that go through a beautiful beautiful bank. Yeah. Joanna, yeah. Oh, it's Joanna, yeah, I see. Ah, that's right. Yeah, because we have to say, because there's no, that sound doesn't exist. Joe, yeah. Joanna, yeah. I think that's true. Yeah, I don't think which is kind of funny. I did have friends with Joanna, but I just never interacted with them in Chinese, so I didn't know. I'm sure if you if you spend the effort to to look around, you'll come to like this beautiful beautiful city of water more and more. Okay, yeah, get it. Yeah, I will probably you know, we might have to bunker down a little bit. Yeah, you will leave the city if you go there, so. And this is Carrie's mother. Carrie. Oh, well, I guess she's the little girl. Carrie, you know things have been chaotic outside. You mustn't just. Or let's see. You mustn't run around. Run off on your own. Understand? But the little girl here says, "But I want to see. I want to go find other children to play together. To play together with them. To play together with." There you go. Would sound better. And Carrie's mom says, like, "You mustn't. If you just, if you run around everywhere, you might be captured by those awful, evil men and burned to death." She calls them 坏叔叔, which is like evil uncles in particular, older people, men older than her. Of course, in English, there's no concept of an uncle, like referring to an older man. So I'm just used translated it that way. But I haven't played with me. But it's been a long time since I played with other kids, says Carrie. Her mother says, like, "No is no. In any case, you aren't permitted to go out and play." Yeah. Yes, you could leave the city of Venice. Obviously, it does you no good right now. Yeah, let's go back in. Fugai, would you like to overwrite? I would, indeed. Sir, are you two a knight? Says the little boy. These days, there's been a lot of knights coming into the city. Let's see. Those, you knights certainly are. Let's see. Like awesome? I guess I'm trying to think. You knights, sir, sure look really grand. Septim says, like, why do you think that I'm a knight? Do I seem like a? Do I look like a knight? Do I look like a knight to you? And then like, by the way, he calls him Big Brother in Chinese, but I'm going to not use that because in Italy you would not. I don't think in Italian you would call someone a brother either. In any case, it's like, sir, you really are dumb. You're carrying a sword on you, so you must be a knight. Okay, well, but kid, that doesn't mean. Oh, never mind. I see. Like the old man wakes awake. I don't know how to pronounce it. Wake. Vic. I don't know. Vic? I'm not sure. Maybe it's Vic. Anyway. Oh. In the past, the pirates were running amok. They made They scared away a great amount of foreign merchants. His lordship, the tribune, like, specifically requested for that the, or not requested, it specifically sought the knights of the kingdom of the Franks, and he's in order to help drive away the pirates. But who would have thought that those knights would then capture would then decide to just to capture the Arabic merchants who came here to do business. My clothing my cloth shop, my textile shop now has no goods flowing in. Let's see. What kind of goods could I give to his lord Shugo? Shugo is, or Shugo? No, I don't know how to say this. Yeah, there's a lot of foreign names, so you can see that there's a lot of so the English translation might actually have been helpful here. It won't be as much once we start getting the other way, but you'll see. Payne, who is a pearl gatherer. Let's see, the pearl gathering is very difficult work. But I can sell those pearls for a very high price. But it's just that the Persian merchant who always bought my pearls was captured. Was captured by the knights, so now my own hard work may all be for naught. Yeah. Okay, so we may want to talk to the Tribune himself, since I don't know where this is. And this is Grandma Sally. Says like, young man. Let's see. It's been very chaotic in the city as of late. You mustn't just go around everywhere. It's very dangerous. Septim says like, I understand that. You needn't worry. Oh, young man. Like, don't act like you don't care. You should listen to the warnings of an old woman every so often. And lately, the city has found some. No, he said, Barahan, we are looking for a fight. I know, basically. Recently, the city has set out some very aggressive, unreasonable knights. Let's see. Once they saw some suspicious-looking Oriental merchants, they captured them indiscriminately. Looking at you, you must be a Oriental. You'd best be careful. Septim says, thank you. Where were those people? Where were the people who were captured, imprisoned in? or like in, or like I'm trying to think of how I would have, like I would have said like, at what location were the people captured imprisoned? I I'm afraid that only those knights would know that. Oh. Let's see if the Tribune can help us here. Yeah, I guess technically we're still doing a investigation, so it might actually be good that we're talking to all the NPCs. Anyway, he says like, this is the weapons merchant. He says like, sir, would you like to buy some weapons? Like, please take your time to pick them out. Alright, we can buy weapons now. There's the long sword, which is better than what I already have. It will lower defense. But for me, I think it would be best. Well, this is the bow. This is the short wooden bow, which we don't need. We have the breastplate. And this is the... what do we call it? Oh, this is the armor, yeah. Yeah, Zhou. Yeah, I just couldn't read Zhou. Okay. I want to first go ahead. I don't know who uses a bow yet, so I'm not going to get it right now. No, it's just armor, period. But I guess it would be inner armor, given its appearance, right? And this is the feather sword. Do I want the feather sword? It is better than what I have. I will go ahead and purchase the feather sword, because... Would you like to equip it immediately? Yes, I would. Thank you. So that's nice that they have that feature. I will lower defense by 1, but it's fine. Worth it. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, let's get the armor too. It's only 80. As you can see, we have 1710 silver. Yeah, I mean, my agility will drop, but at the very least... by 1, but at the very least we'll get more defense. And this is Paola or Paola in Italian probably. My papa is the greatest blacksmith in all of Venice. The feather sword that he creates, let's see. The feather sword he creates are let's see. Are bought even by 4 merchants who come here specifically for it. It's really amazing. Yeah, so she's basically recommending the feather sword, and I can't disagree. There are a lot of NPCs too, so I'll try to speed things along here. If there's any, like, I think these are the same NPCs from earlier. Yeah, it's oh no, it's like Emilia, or Emilia, I think. Yeah, Emilia. Yes, see. Oh, I can't stand it. Our little dog has run out again. I know. And this is Lucy. I think it's like Lucy, or like, let's see. In the past, our village had an amazing mathematician who recently passed away. He told me that in actuality mathematics is not difficult as long as you are willing to take up the pen to and do calculations. He even told me that let's see. He even told me that if you were to use rote memorization for mathematics, not only would there be no joy in it, it would also be extremely difficult. Rote memorization. I guess he was more of a theorems person. Oh, okay. Oh, whoops. Yeah, she's just talking about a dog. This is the the priest, and he says like, thank the Lord, thank God, we have finally captured those heretics. Put those heretics away. Did everyone forget the examples of Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible? God is already extremely angry. And yes, Sodom and Gomorrah is really a thing in the Bible. You can read about it. In any case, basically, the simple thing is that those cities were so evil that God decided that they needed to be destroyed or punished for going against God. It's that's why he's making that comparison. Kind of extreme though. Not all the merchants were evil, but I mean, of course, at this time, if you didn't believe in God, you were considered more evil. And I guess that's just the way things were. Like, you had to follow the religion of the place you were in. And even before that, before it was like, it's not just like, of course it's not good, honestly, but yeah, this is why religion shouldn't be mixed with political power. But I think some people in the modern times have kind of forgotten that. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now, except I'm just going to say, may I ask, where are those heretics being held? The Irik says, like, oh, young man, you mustn't draw close to those evil heretics. We are all God's children. We must follow God. Let's see. You mustn't yourself be corrupted by those heretics that worship idols. Yeah, all very. Oh, someone definitely did their homework in terms of using biblical terms. Because I was looking at the Chinese terms and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That goes to the residential area. Yeah, it's like, of course, like, yeah, they talk about worshipping idols, or basically worshipping things that are not God. Of course, he's taking it like, yeah, but political power, religious, it really shouldn't be mixed with political power. It's just dangerous. You can do these kind of things. I see. Like, this is Yojin, and he says, or Yojin? I don't know how to translate this name, but he says like, I'm in love with a girl named Monica inside the city. Eugene, yeah, thank you. Oh, actually, yeah, that's true. I know. Sorry, guys. I know we've been on these NPCs. Yellow tulip. Thank you. Some time ago, I asked someone to send her a love letter. Then she didn't reply with a letter, but with a yellow tulip. sir. Young man, would you be able to help me? Help me to go to her and ask what is the meaning behind the tulip? This side quest made me laugh. Oh boy. Is it worth doing, I guess? Let's see. Septim says like, ah, very well. It's but a mere trifling matter. I'll go ahead and help you. I'll go ahead and let's see, and help you. You just wait here for me. But I'm not. But I do not yet know where this Monica lives. This girl named Monica lives, I guess. Oh, sir, she lives in the. She lives on the other side of the bridge. Let's see. I leave the rest to you. Alright. Wow. My goodness, this city is actually pretty vast too. Anything. This is the... I'm just gonna split things up here. Let's see. But I mean, it is kind of interesting what they have to say. That's the worst part. I feel like it's actually pretty interesting dialogue, but like, I don't know. I also don't want to slow the story down too much doing all this. In any case, this is the jeweler, Bueno, yeah, Bueno, and he says, our Lord Shugo will go visit. We'll go visit the Pope. I'm trying to think, how do we call him? His Holiness the Pope. There you go. His Holiness the Pope in a few days. He wants us to make 30 ruby rings within today, or like 30 rings today. But the Eastern merchant who gave me the rubies were all captured by the church. There is no way I'll be able to make so many rings by the morning. Septem says like, as long as you have the rubies, you'll be able to make the rings. You'll be able to make those things, says Septem. And Bueno here says, that's right. As long as you can find the rubies by today, I'm sure we'll be able to. Do it somehow. How about, Septem says, how about this? I'll go help you find the rubies. You just wait here for me. Oh. We got the Bolo Huizigen, or the root of Bolo Hui. Bolo Hui? I don't know what this is. It's like some kind of plant. Alright, let's see if there's anything interesting. We could go to the residential area. Oh, that is the grapes. Jelly. Grapes. Neat. My goodness, so that goes to the cathedral. That's where we want to go eventually to get the Arab merchants to get going. Little Mary here says like, the priest says that my big brother is very obedient. He is a good child who believes in God. My big brother loves going towards the cathedral to speak with the priest Joseph. Oh, it's a good thing I have read the Bible in Chinese, which really helps me translate these things, because these are a lot of biblical terms. And that is toward the graveyard. So are the side quests worth doing? If I also don't want to waste too much time, because we have some... don't want to slow the story down, and we've already used 1.5 hours, so... Yeah, there's a lot to see, actually. I'm actually surprised how vast this Venice is. There's quite a few NPCs, too. I don't remember what most of the rewards were. No worries. That's strange. Do them all, no slacking. Fine. I'll see if I can do. If they're too difficult, then whatever. I don't have time. Septa says, that's strange. Upon all the gravestones are carved the names of the deceased. Why is this one the only... Why does this one have no name carved within it? Weird. I wonder if that will be significant later on, but for now, I guess it's just a gravestone with no... Let's see. Upon this gravestone, I mean, we're not going to read all of this, but like... Let's see. Let's see. Below are all the experiences of the life of oh. I don't know. Anyway, that one is a little bit of like, why don't you go ahead and calculate my age based on all the life events written down below. So it says like, if you wish to find my age, go ahead. Or like, those younger than me, like... Yeah, so that's the mathematician's grave. Like, young man, I have a problem. Would you be able to help me? Sure. Yeah, the mathematician one, I'm gonna try it after this. I just said no for now. But, let's see. Here's... let's see. Last month, my husband passed away. At that time, he knew that I was already pregnant. So that's why he left behind these I hate math. Same you. I don't know. I don't mind it. I'm actually okay with math. I don't like hate it either. I think the problem is this, like, of course it gets really complicated, and like theorems are very like, ugh. So that's why he left with these dying words, or this will, yeah. Oh boy. If I give birth to a son, our son will then inherit 2/3 of all of our property or assets. Yeah, his will. and I will obtain 1/3. If I give if I give birth to a girl, I will then have 2/3 of the assets, and the girl will have 1/3. I know, sex is terrible. Septim says like, well, that's good. Why? What's so difficult about this situation? Well, the question is, in the end, I gave birth to twins, and they are and one twin is a boy and one twin is a girl. Would you be able to tell me how I should divide the inheritance among them? Sure, we can try it. How should the inheritance be divided first? Like the first division. Oh wow, that's mean. So it's 1/3 for a girl and then 2/3 for a boy. Wow, that's it. Actually, I feel like this is a trick question. I actually am not really sure how to do this. I mean, I guess I can give it a try because, like, oh, twins, eh? Oh, of course, it's the mathematicians. Why are you so mean? Why does the girl get less? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm trying to think too. Would everyone get everything equally at that point? I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess I can answer it. Let's go with 111. I don't know. I said, how much should the son have? 1. And how much should the wife have? 1. And then like how much should the daughter have? 1. Okay. He has super hard muscles that Kevin can't do. Yep. Anyway, the wife, the woman here says like, wait. Let me think about whether or not this this division of inheritance is correct. It will not be right. It doesn't seem quite right. Could I trouble you to think about it again? Okay. Yeah, so 2/3 and 1/3 and 2/3. Okay, so first divide. Yeah, 3, 1. But that is the only thing that makes sense because you have to divide in 3, so it has to be a divisible. We know that it's an integer, so it has to be The first one is like what is the denominator, which is 3. It has to be a multiple of 3 regardless, because you can't divide. It has to be something that's divisible by 3. So there's only 3 possibilities, either 3, 6, or 9. But I'm like not sure. I mean, I did 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, let me see what to do here. So at least you have infinite tries, thankfully. Otherwise, that would be horrible. Because so, would it be like 1/6? But that doesn't make sense. Obviously cannot be 2/3, 1/3, 1/3. It doesn't make sense. But would it be 6 then? I guess it could be 6. Because that way you would be able to divide even more. Yeah, it does seem a little crazy to be 1/6. How much should the son inherit? Yeah, so they need to be double. So my guess is that it's not 2, 2, 2. So they have to have 2, 2. My guess is like 2x, 2x, 1x. Maybe it's... Would it be more like 4, 4, 2? That would make more sense. Because like 1, 2, 2. I mean 2, 2, 1. I guess would be make sense too. That's 5. I guess technically. Sorry, I may have made a mistake. Okay, I'll just whatever. Don't worry about it. Okay, I'll fix that. So maybe it's 5. Because like you need to make sure that you always have. So sons is double, or maybe it's like 4x plus 2x plus 1x. Maybe that's the way to go. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit like there's a couple of possibilities, because like it always has to be double. So 4 2x x. So I mean, like, yeah, like by logic it's like the daughter will always have to have. Let's say the daughter's share is 1x, so then it'll be the wife's will be 2x of the daughter's, so 2x, and then the son's is double the wife's, the mother's, so that's 4x, so 7x. So maybe I should divide by 7, so it's like 4, 2, 1. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe it's 7 I need to pick. So we're gonna divide by 7. So he has the most at 4. She has the second most, the mother, at 2, and the daughter has 1. Is it right? Ah, I did it. Yes, I was right. Yeah, I was just thinking like, yeah, by logic that has to dictate it. Like, that does sound very reasonable. You really have a good you really have a strong mind. Thank you for helping me think of the answer. Here is a present for you. Please take it. Yeah, we got 100 silver. And Septem says, "Thank you for your gift." I still hate math. Yeah, I know. Thank you, young man. You have a good mind on your shoulders. Nice. I'm very glad we were able to figure that out. If you think about, basically, like, it's kind of a brain puzzle where like you have to read the text and notice, like, instead of just focusing on the raw amounts, you're supposed to focus on the relationship of the amounts to each other. So neat. Let's go back to this. Anyway, on the grave is like, my life experiences are written below. Young ones, those of the living who have interest. Why don't you go ahead? Why don't you try to calculate my age? Would you like to try calculating it? Septem says like, seems rather interesting. Why don't I let me keep reading. Let's see. In the first 1/7 of my life was my happy childhood years. Let me go ahead and write this down because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need. One second. Yeah, it's time to do some calculations here. Childhood years are 1/7. After my childhood years, I then used 1/4 of my life for the sake of education. Okay, so education was 1/4. Okay. Alrighty, I got it. Got it. At the end of that period, I then was married. Let's see. After being married for 5 years, I begat, I guess, like I fathered a son. I fathered a son. I felt so happy, but it's unfortunate that my child on this my child's life on this earth was only half of my own. Oh. Child's life was half of his own. Okay. After my son after my son died, after having been injured, I lived injured for 4 years. I too then died. Why did you go ahead and calculate how long I lived? He died 4 years after child. Okay. Wow, that's mean. This is terrible. Okay. Septim says, that's it. Interesting. Let me think. Or I lived in grief for 4 years. Oh, that actually, Yo-sang. I don't know why I said injuries because I'm looking at the sang part. You are right. It means, it's like the word for when you're, like, Yo-sang is like when you're depressed, in grief. Yes. And because it's also the word, like, we say when you're sad, we say word 伤心, which means your heart is injured, but that's not what it means. It means your heart is in pain, or that you are sad. I did save before this, so I can load if this doesn't go well. Let's see. Septem presses the let's see. Presses the answer on the stone button. The mathematician lived, so the nice thing is at least they've narrowed it down, so it must be a multiple of 10. So first, that means that's the thing. That's how they want you to know. Okay, by first we have the, if we pick the words, so at least they give you a multiple choice, which makes things a lot easier. Oh, I see. Wait, hold on. It's not a multiple of 10. There's more numbers after this. Oh? They're gonna ask how long did your son live? Okay. Okay, well, 1/7 would be 10. And 1/4 would be... No. Oh, I see what you're saying. So you mean, like, oh, you picked the... Oh, yeah, this is back then. Like, you couldn't type. They don't expect you to be able to type because this is not the original game. So you picked the tens place and then the ones place. I see. Actually, I see what you mean now. So at least as far as I know, since we know the years are integers, math is basically rare. I never will like my. I mean, most math is not meant to be this obtuse. The mathematician is just having a little bit too much fun and finds these toy puzzles. I like to call these things called toy puzzles because they're not really interesting. They're not really particularly interesting or applicable. I feel like business math is more like what people would find interesting anyway. Unless you don't care about money, then who cares? Okay, so my guessing is that he died at the age of 56 because that's the only way the first two math works. So let's try that out. So let's just say childhood years was 8 and education for 14. So if that would mean he had a child. Okay, so that means he'll be 22, 28, 50. He would have been 22 when the child was born, but if the child's life was half of his, so 28. So let me see, would that work out? I don't think it would, because he would have died at 50 and he died at 54. No, that doesn't work. So 56 doesn't work. But then again, if I times 3, that's 84. 84 is... Let's see, 84 would mean that his child years were 12. And he had education for 21 years. That would be a pretty late. So he gave... Well, I mean, 33 is still a pretty... Like... Oh no, people don't live as long as they do now. Yeah, no, I have to say... Yeah, but... I mean, no, I don't think so. Actually, I feel like a lot of ancient people actually died early because of lack of medicine. Yes, there were people that lived very old, but that was very unusual. Like, the average age expectancy is much higher now than it used to be. Because, like, in the old days, living to 70 was like a huge achievement. But now people are like, he was only 70? Really? How could he die so early? I know, say now 80 or 90 is the expectation of how long a human is about to live. So I don't think that seems right. I guess I'm sure there are people that live there. Like, okay, I guess unless you consider like biblical people, like 900, like who were living 900 years, but that's like not common in like recent, like more like common, like in ancient times. Most people didn't live. Some people didn't live past. A lot of people didn't live past 40 because, like, once you get tuberculosis, you're dead. There's no way to save you. It's really sad, actually. So life expectancy was so low, so you just had to live as much of life to the fullest within a certain time. Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna go back to... So right now I'm working with the age 84, and I'm gonna see if that works. So 33. So 84 means that you can live 42. 33 is 42, so plus 42 is 75. That doesn't work either. Because, like, if he gave birth to the child at 33, and the line was half, so 84, that's 42. So that's 70. That means the child would have died at 75, and then he died at 79, but that doesn't make sense. I know, sorry, I'm just trying to think of... Well, that would be crazy. So 84 doesn't work. 56 doesn't work. 28 doesn't really make sense. That's too young. Anyway, I'm just looking at multiples of 7 and 4. Hold on. Maybe I'm missing something. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm just trying to think of how to do this. And I do notice we're at time, so if I don't figure this out within a couple of minutes, then we might have to stop for today. And we'll continue. We'll probably storm the cathedral on the next stream. Because, like, we had a little bit too much fun talking to the NPCs. But, Oh, yeah, that's true. No, I did not. I don't know why I didn't write that. You're right. Marriage was 5 years. I don't know why I failed to write that. Never mind. You're right. That might help. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. That's important. I forgot to write that down. Yikes. I'm not thorough enough. Okay, let's try it with 56 first. So let's see. That's... If you're 56, then it was 8, 14, and then 5. So the child would have been 27. 27, and then the child was born when he was 27. Then you add 28. That is 55. And then 4 years after he died, no, that wouldn't make it. 59? No, that doesn't make sense. Let's try 84 out then. 12 for 84. And then 21, that's 33. 5 is 38. 38 plus 42 is 80. It is 84. Okay. No, we got it. Thank you. That actually helped. See? Critical piece of information. I missed it. So that's why the calculation failed. 84. Oh. Yeah. It's been 84 years. Like, eh? It looks like there was some hidden words within the gravestone. Yeah, you were close to 80 to 90 guess. Nice. So it's just a simple matter. If once you have all the information, you just have to find something that... Because you have to remember... Because 1714 must be integers. So you use the least common multiple of 7 and 4. Not least common multiple. You just kind of work your way up. So you start with 28. Of course, you're like, that's too low. So... 56 is the next thing, which will work with 1/7, 1/4, and that doesn't work out mathematically. So then you try 84. So then you get the right answer because all the calculations work out. So the second piece of inscription says, "Hey, not bad. You were able to correctly calculate how long I lived. Let's see. I have hidden some things within the cathedral. Why don't you go ahead and look for yourself?" And Septim says, like, huh? There seems to be a bag on this gravestone. We have the rose. Septim says, a wilted rose. Wonder. Not sure what use this has. What does the wilted rose have? Septim's like, that old mathematician certainly is something. Or maybe it was certainly quite interesting is how I would write it in his ancient times. I can't talk like a modern person. Okay, well, let me get out of here. I'm going to go back to the square, and then we will go to the residential area. I'm just going to save on the inside of it. We have a lot more NPCs to deal with, but we don't have time to do that today, so let's stop here for today. It is late, so... Yeah, the run cycle looks kind of goofy, doesn't it? Even though Septim himself isn't that goofy. Oopsie, sorry. I dropped my controller. Anyway, if you did enjoy this stream, we do have a Discord where you can discuss this game and other games of interest. Or you can follow us on Facebook or, well, Twitter or X down below. And if you did enjoy the stream, we do have... we have archives of the previous streams on that YouTube page, or if you're watching on YouTube, it's right here. So, and yeah, so I do need to make a blue sky at some point. I keep forgetting to. Like, I think it's good to have an alternate social platform from Twitter. But anyway, if you did enjoy this, we will continue this on Wednesday, and we'll go on from there and see where the story goes. I'll try to move things along, but these quests are quite interesting. I don't know. I think we have to make it so that we are not likely to come back to Venice, so we should probably do as much as we can. I think that's how the game is structured. So anyway, let's go. We'll do that. So in any case, as always, 晚安, which means good night, and 下次再见, which means see you next time, and 谢谢收看, which means thank you for watching. 求神祝福们, may God bless you. 愿你的一天有福, may your day be full of blessing. Hope you guys had a good one, and see you later. You might not be able to come back later. Yeah, exactly.